did 2 or 3 things, and I just got
And
them.
we are live, guys. What's going on, Clive?
Oh, not much. I was kind of watching I was involved in a little secret super chat that, well, not a super chat, but stream for this little project watch I'm involved in.
Okay.
And I've been asked, no, I'm not. I've been asked not to divulge information
the Bill
about it.
Sanders project.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I gotcha. What watch you wearing today? You wearing the new one you just got? Well, the new old one.
The Crouton Nvidia Grunchen, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool watch.
Thanks. It really, really is. My watchsmith gave it a good going over and cleaned it, and God, he hates the thing.
I'm wearing that little Timex midget. I figured, it's getting to be fall out. I put the bun strap back on it.
Bund.
Yeah. So
yep.
Wearing that.
It's starting to become what we here in the flyover states, what the white women here call pumpkin spice season.
Yeah, same here.
God damn it, they love pumpkin spice on everything.
Same here. But yeah, that's it's starting to get to be nice out. But today's topic,
I can't even get a blowjob without like sprinkling pumpkin spice on it now.
I don't know if you have seen Breitling's new releases. Did you catch? This is kind of a response to John P's video. Did you see his last video?
No, I haven't watched anything from John P. I barely keep up with Ed. Barely.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Okay.
Breitling. I don't know if have you seen the new Breitling models out?
No.
They actually have a few nice ones. They have what's going on, Thomas Burnett? They have a new Navitimer that's in American Airways, and his thing was, why did they choose American Airways? My answer to that is I feel like because Pan Am, they can't do Pan Am anymore because they're now defunct. And I feel like the Navitimer is one that a lot of Pan Am people or a lot of Pan Am pilots will probably wear, or now American Airline pilots will probably wear. They have like a limited edition American Airlines Navitimer. And now they also have a few. I feel like Breitling's, of course, I'm a Breitling fanboy. I'll admit that. And I feel like they're doing good things. And they bought out a new muscle car Americana lineup with their top timer. They have a Mustang Dow. I mean, it's got obviously. I'm sure they got the copyrights from the actual car companies. Otherwise, they wouldn't just plaster them on the Dow. But they have the Mustang symbol on a green one, and I get why they chose the colors for each one because. Yeah. Green, when you think of the Mustang, you think of the Bullet, Steve McQueen. So that kind of Highland green Mustang, and it's kind of like that kind of color Dow. And then they have a Cobra watch from the Shelby Cobra, which is obviously blue and white because blue white striped Cobra, and then a red Corvette top time. And I don't think those are limited editions. I think the American Airways one is, but I don't quote me on that, but I don't believe the car ones are.
Well, here, I'm pulling up. I'm on the Breitling page now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, limited to 100 pieces. Jesus, man. Okay, now that's ruthless.
On the American Airways one?
Yeah. Because even the 806 1959 was limited to 1,959 pieces. We're like, I guess technically that is okay. Maybe-ish.
I wonder if they're not just doing a little test market on that too.
Yeah, and there's no. I'm looking at the Mustang.
Huh. It's not a bad looking watch, and size wise, it'll fit a lot of people. It's 42 mil with 20 millimeter lugs, so you can swap out straps if you want, like a lot of people like. And I feel like it's a good thing on their part because they'll bring them kind of the car crowd into buying them.
Oh yeah, you got the Ford one. The Shelby Cobra has the kind of like round, squared off indices, which kind of
I think it's a good idea by them, don't you?
Exactly.
Like I said, I mean, now if they market it right, what I would do is maybe send them out to some of the big car channels that have those cars. I mean, if I were Breitling and make them kind of like ambassadors or whatever, and then they'd probably have a lot more sales that way too. Like your Stradman or like TJ Hunt or something, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Exactly.
If they were smart and marketed right.
Yeah. I'm a lot more Yeah, I'm just not wild about the American Airlines.
Yeah, I mean that's hit or miss for some people. I like the looks of it, but I mean that's a little too colorful for me. I feel
Yeah,
like the Mustang, like I said, the green is just like the right shade of green. It's not too bright. It's like that dark, like Highland kind of bullet green.
right.
So,
And yeah,
and the Corvette, of course, when you think of Corvette, you think of a red Corvette 65, or at least I do, like 65 split window. You know what I mean? My old
yeah.
neighbor actually had one of those, and that was a nice car, man. It had the side exhaust and all that, and he'd start that thing up, and that thing sounded great. But I feel like it's like I said, they're doing kind of like an American kind of pop culture kind of thing, and I think it's kind of they're going back to kind of their roots. Just like I said, when they like didn't they build a lot of Navitimers for Pan Am pilots, or a lot of Pan Am pilots worn back in the day?
Yeah. Now, how long has this thing been out?
They haven't been out that long, I don't think. I think he caught wind of it. Like I said, I give John P credit for it because he's the one that I saw it first, off his channel. But I don't think they've been out that long. Thomas is saying he wasn't fond of the colored car scheme themed top times, but he says I'm right. Breitling should send
Okay.
out to some of the big car channels. I mean, that would be free marketing for them. Not free marketing, but
Yeah.
I mean, you send out a watch. What's $5,500 profit for? You might sell 20 or 30 of them if you send them out to one of them.
Well, no, a blog to watch debut talked about it like 4 days ago, and the fact that it's only 100 pieces,
Yeah,
and so it's been, and you can still pull it up. Hey, click here to buy one on the website. That's
not
not
a
great.
yeah. That's not a good sign. But not a lot of people probably know about it yet either, though. Like I don't think they marketed it the way they should probably.
Yeah.
I feel like, and even those, they could send one of those out to. I mean, there's even fighter pilot channels out there with a big amount of followers that I'll follow. Guys that are ex like fighter pilots and stuff. So maybe they could market to them. I don't know, but they're not marketing like they should. I don't think. Like I said, I feel like especially the car ones, they should definitely send out to some of the big car YouTubers.
Yeah.
Because they would market. I mean, make them their brand ambassadors, not. And with the car guys, there's not really a lot of. I mean, there kind of is, but there's not really like a lot of drama like there is with the Watts guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I don't believe the top times. I don't think they're limited editions. I
Yeah.
spoke to Rich over at Saltzman's because I was going to see if he could get one in for me to look at for review. But he
Yeah.
said they're only allocating so many to each boutique. They're order only right now because I guess they send their certain pieces to certain dealers. I guess.
Right.
How's it going, Watch Sixto? How you doing, bud? How's it going, Roy the Tagger? A 63 Chris, that split window on the Breitling, only the American airline logo on the exhibition back was cheesy. Okay.
Well, and then I looked at the actual picture that Ariel Adams took on a blog to watch, and it's just like I don't like the coloring of it. Almost too bright, too garish. It's almost like Happy Meal.
I mean, I get American. It's red, white, and blue, the American flag colors, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm with you. It's just like a little too much going on for me. A little too bright.
Yeah. Now the Chronomat with the bullet bracelets. Now that's actually one of the ones that Gark Moldberg got his hands on recently for a substantial discount, and he loves that thing.
Yeah. But I feel like I said, I feel like Breitling, since they had the new owner, when did they get bought out? Like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
They're starting to. I feel like they're starting to go in the right direction with their company now, don't you?
Starting to, yeah.
And he mentioned they discounted or discontinued the big Bentley GT lineup too, which I think is a smart move. Those suckers, they're good looking watch, but they're huge. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, I have, and I think it could be signaling that even Breitling's realizing that the big end of the big watch craze is maybe starting to come upon us, or return to normalcy or normal wrist sizes.
And plus, I mean, how many Bentley own? I don't know any Bentley owners that I know of, but how many Bentley owners do you know that would buy the big Breitling or the Bentley GT watch. You know what I mean? There's not many of those guys. Those guys were probably wearing Rolexes
Oh, actually,
or
I know
APs.
I know 6 or 7.
Do you?
Yeah, it's all territory out here. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Top timers, they all look great, but the case backs are all snap on.
No,
That's crazy. And they're actually not that bad price wise, I don't think. Today's market. $5,500, they're reachable for a lot of people. You know?
Did I send you pics of those vintage Breitlings I picked up?
No, I don't think you sent the Breitlings. You
Oh.
might have it. You might have it a while back. Which ones did you pick up?
Well, actually, a Premier,
Okay.
and it looks exactly the same design, except it's not guacamole or avocado, guacamole green.
Mm-hmm.
And both Venus movements. One has the Venus 170 has the two sub registers at 12 and 6, and the other one with the Venus 175, the same, the movement that they sold to the Chinese eventually.
Mm-hmm.
3 and 9.
Is that the one that the Seagull copied?
Yes. No. Seagull didn't copy that. They bought it. They bought it outright.
Okay.
We didn't sold it to them.
Okay, so they just reproduced it then?
Yeah, are producing it. Yep.
Okay. That's one watch I don't really have any experience with. I think I've had 1 or 2 watches with Seagull movement in them. Yeah. The actual Seagull 1963, that's one I actually like to take a look at. The only thing I can't get over is the big red star on the dial.
Well, yeah. I've got the Aramar Long Beach chronograph, and I think it's a lovely freaking watch. I love the movement on it.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, Thomas, that's a good observation.
The chronomat with the bullet bracelets are really nice.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think they're great watches.
And I actually like the ladies' chronomats, but I mean they're a good looking watch for women. I'm talking about the 36.
Yeah, and Cherise Theron wears one as well.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
there's a photograph of her posing with one that's like, yeah, if I had my way, that would be the only article of clothing she'd be wearing.
And the watch.
Yeah, exactly. The watch.
I hear you.
But
yeah, I feel like Breitling's they're starting to market a little bit better. Like even with their the Endurance Pro that I really like, they're starting to market that. They have don't they sponsor a couple of professional surfers with those watches?
Right.
So I mean, they're starting to market a little bit more, like getting more into the trends, I guess you could say. I don't know if they have younger people running the company or what. Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing? I know Joe is a big Breitling fanboy too. Have you seen the new Breitling lineup, Joe? What are your thoughts on them, on the Mustang and the Corvette watch, and the Cobra and the new Navitimer? Like I said, I feel like with these, a lot of people, like I know it sounds cheesy, but I have a Mustang tattoo. I'm a Mustang fanboy too. But a lot of the Mustang crowd will probably buy that watch to match their car.
Huh. I'm looking. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I sent you one. I sent those to you.
Okay, I'll have to go back and look. I feel like I remember you said those too. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people have found out about the lineup yet because they're not really marketing them yet. They might have just released them. And like I said, I give John P credit because he's the one that I saw in his video about the airlines one, and then I found out about the Mustang ones after that. So
no, I didn't send you the one with the up and down, but I'll look for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like Parmigiani Flourier, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like what they really need to do is take their entire marketing department out the back door, line them against the wall, and just shoot them. They have failed.
Like you said, that watch I sent you a picture of that you actually first told me about yesterday.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that is a good looking watch for 21,000, and you can actually buy it. It's not like AP or something like that,
And yeah, it's got a perpetual calendar and a chronograph. And it's gorgeous. The finishing on the dial. So it's, yeah. So, and the thing is, it's brand new. I don't know if I don't know if some people might say it's not really its own man. In fact, it might be a hodge. Some people would call it um, a hodgepodge of prior iconic designs, but still, it's still a gorgeous looking watch.
Well, that's just like Adrian, and I saw his video that he posted today about the GP, the Laureato. A lot of
Yep.
people say that about that, but they kind of came out at the same time as the Royal Oak and all that.
Ish, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And people, of course, people are saying, Shatter. Oh, it's a knockoff. Oh, don't get it because it doesn't have its resale. Don't get it. It doesn't hold its resale. The crazy
thing in these times, I feel like even now Hublot are probably going to start reselling good.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just because everything else is hard to get.
Well, and if anything, and that's why I'm saying this in the current climate. Yep.
Panerai released a couple years ago with a snap-on case back. Didn't sell well. Okay.
Because Panerai is traditionally a dive watch brand, and those were marketed as So it basically they're marketed as dive watches, but you probably should take it off your wrist if you went to the urinal.
Yeah, I mean, why would you throw a snapback on a dive watch? It's like I get the Breitling because these are more pallets watches, so they don't necessarily have to be water resistant. But at the same time, that is kind of a cheap move.
Yeah, it's greedy and lazy, and lazy and greedy.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I feel like price wise though, they're reachable for a lot of people.
Which one? Panerai?
The Breitling.
Oh yeah.
The new one's 5.5. And what's the American Airways selling for again? The limited
86.
That's not that bad for 100 pieces.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, though. I think that was roughly the MSRP. Hold on.
Of the 1809.
Yeah. Well, of the 1959.
Or the 1959. Yeah.
But I still got that for a little bit of a discount.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you look at the 1959,
mm-hmm.
It looks like a nicer watch than what it really is. That was an expensive movement for Breitling. It was an expensive movement. They didn't take the B01. They put a lot more work into it by taking parts out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They took the B01 and made it a manual wind and made it thinner like the original Navitimer.
Mm-hmm.
So they put a lot of work into it, taking parts out of it.
I think Dane, remember Saline Driver? He's been on here a couple of times. I think he's got one of the original ones. I think
of the original ones.
Yeah, that he picked up not too long ago.
Well, and that's you mean the re-edition or the original?
The original.
That's actually my hats are off to him because those are some. I think
that's the one he has.
I had one, but but I actually found out it was a bit of a Franken.
Mm.
And it's common with those watches because they're very, very, very fragile. The design was iconic, but the manufacturing was not up to the case. They sucked. Basically, if you weren't careful, you'd knock it's possible you'd knock the thing on something and literally knock the bezel off of it.
Mm. Yeah, that sucks. That's for something that expensive.
Yep. Well, of course, back then they were like, $200 watches, so who gives a damn?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they're not a couple grand like they are now.
More than a couple.
Ooh. Speaking of, luckily it's under warranty, but James, Greg Gambino, he's been on here a couple times too. You've seen him.
Yes.
His Speedy, he had to send it back in for service. It was running too fast. It's something with something with the rotor or something. I don't know. Oh. He was explaining it the other day, but luckily it's under warranty because what are those to service now? Like 1,000?
Not 2,000? Sure. I always thought Omega was fairly reasonable for a big brand with this.
Yeah.
But chronographs, that's one of the most expensive.
Are a little more.
Yeah. But it's supposed to be better because really, usually the prior generation of Speedies, were not. I don't think they're chronometer rated, and literally, it's not like they were. It's not like they're regulated in 5 positions, or I think they're barely regulated in 1 position, if that.
Roar the Tiger said, frankly, he's disappointed. He had his eye on the Deuce edition of the Top Time.
Yeah.
And I think they had like one other limited edition Top Time, like a Tour de something, not Tour de France, but something like that.
Yeah.
Along those lines. I think it might be like one of the motorcycle like races or something. Tour de Flus or something like that. Have you heard of
that? No, not yet. But the thing is, it's right now. There's a lot of stuff being released. It's like springtime after a winter. All the critters crawl out of their little hidey holes, their caves, and their nests, or they're migrating in from, bumfuck America, and they're starting to congregate, and they're starting to mate.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same with watches. In this case, the watch companies basically, a lot of them were on hold.
Is it their spring over there?
Well, Southern Hemisphere probably, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the watch companies, a lot of them didn't do anything, did jack squat in 2020, and actually a fair little chunk in 2021.
Now they're starting to get their people back, and they're getting back in the full swing of things, huh?
Yeah. Well, just think about it. It's a good thing. Yeah. Oh God! Well, I was reading in something. Of course, we've got a few people that are the Zorro secondhand. Thomas is such an enthusiast.
I remember Zorro.
Yeah. I'm actually old enough to remember Guy Williams as Zorro.
I gotcha.
On rebroadcast. It's not like I'm that old. Before he became
I was a Zorro fan as a kid.
I could see that.
But yeah, like I said, I feel like Breitling's they're moving in the right direction. I feel like, and like I said, they didn't make these watches like overly huge either. 42 mil, 20 mil lugs. So they're wearable for a lot of people.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning. Actually, I was nice and starting to get nice and chilly here at night. So just love opening the window and then just hopping under some thick covers. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. That is the best sleeping weather right there.
Roar the Tiger saying pre-lost his space.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say, but I got distracted.
Thanks for upvoting, Roar the Tiger. Appreciate it, bud. But
hey guys, the rest of you can upvote while you're here.
Yeah, we don't have too many people on, but a lot of people probably watching football and all that right now, which my Browns are about to play here in a little bit. So hopefully they get another win. We're not on TV locally here, but
right.
Clemson won last night, thank God. Barely, but they won. So, but yeah, that's another thing too. I was thinking, like, I don't know if the Swiss would do it, but maybe a micro brand, if they could get the college like licenses, I think that would be a good sell for a brand. Like all the major college teams.
Well, I think the trouble is
getting the licenses from the schools.
Getting the license. I think the college teams would want way too much money. They'd probably say, "Well, yeah, give us 25% of the MSRP, and you could put our logo on top of the product that you make wholly 100% by yourself."
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, you're in football country there too, so I'm sure there would be a crap ton of people that would buy Oklahoma watches, right?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
Because in the South, I mean, college football is real big in the South.
Well, let me put it this way: I'm firmly convinced if we didn't have high school football, we probably wouldn't have high school. That's how big the sports community is out here. God help them. Yeah. And God knows how many times we have someone that was, he was a good quarterback. He'd be a good governor. Same thing, isn't it? No, it's not.
It's
No, it's
no,
not.
they're different
Not even
people. You know
remotely.
how they
No.
are outside of, off the field.
Yeah.
Completely different thing. There's a lot of couch quarterbacks out there too
Oh yeah, there is.
that like to criticize the player or whatever that never even played.
Well, oh, I'm sure. I also sent you a couple of photographs.
Okay, I'll check them out whenever we get done here in a little bit.
I tell you about that new iPhone. This last Friday,
Uh huh.
it's just like I was going to start checking on something. I was like, oh, what? So what? It's iPhone release day, isn't it? And they're like, yep.
The new camera on that thing's supposed to be really good.
That's. I took a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
Like the picture of the funky chronograph I sent you. That was on the new phone.
Okay, so you got the 13 then.
13 Pro Max.
Nice. I finally, as you know, upgraded to an 11 from a 6. That was a major upgrade for me about 3-4 months ago.
Yeah. And the light on this one is probably, I think it's pretty decent.
I mean, they're saying you can actually make like films with them.
Yeah.
Basically. So
that's going to result in, right?
What's that?
An enormous amount of amateur pornos.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep.
Well, we're going on about half an hour.
That's what they really need to do.
What's that?
Yeah. Instead of showing like the guy busting down the door, running down the hallway, and crouching on the hallway like he's Spider-Man, they need to show two fat fuckers from the Midwest getting ready to jump get busy with each other while one of them sets up the iPhone. That's what they need to show.
Yeah, the ones that make all the.
And one of them is going to get the right idea of taking the photograph and iMessaging it to the wrong person. I message someone, they'll send it to the wrong person, and then they'll face criminal charges. And of course, if you are facing criminal charges from using an iPhone or sending someone the wrong text message, please contact me. Thank you.
Did you get that YouTube video I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Her reaction was so funny too, wasn't it?
Yep. Indeed, it was.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're going on about half an hour. Are you about ready to call it a day then?
Sure, anytime, any day. I'll have to also watch. I'll have to watch the Barkin Jack thing.
Yeah, definitely. He did the on the GP Laureato, I believe.
Yeah.
So and then check out John P's video too, because that's where I got the idea from. So
now, Thomas is asking which watch you have in your avatar. That's Planet Ocean, right?
No, that's actually the Citizen. When I reviewed a bit about 2 weeks ago from it's actually the Pro Master. It's part of airline. It's the yacht racer.
The Snot Racer.
It's a little bit on the higher end for Citizen, but it's $600. But you can get a discount. I'm sure you can get it down to like $3 something. You know what I mean? So.
Sergeant Garcia, which of course predated Sergeant Schultz. Oh, by the way, all the Germans on Hogan's Heroes were in fact Jewish refugees from Germany.
Were they? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that. Even the big guy, huh? That was always were always making fun of.
Yep.
Did not know that. But anyways, guys, I guess we'll call it a day since we're going on half an hour here. Thanks for coming on, Clyde.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming on, everybody.
Fist.